taken back because I had never in my life been diagnosed by a doctor the way I was diagnosed by him. Even before I got to see him, I was taken back because I had never in my life been diagnosed by a doctor the way I was diagnosed by him. Even before I got to see him, one of his interns saw me because his waiting list was so long, I had to wait 3 months before I could actually see him. And so when they checked me to see where my imbalances were, they did what they call a science that's called kinesiology. And so as this sister was doing kinesiology on me, I had never seen it before. I was taken back. I'm like, wow, what is she doing? But something in my spirit knew it was the right thing. And so I followed what she said. So she tested me with some herbs, and she seen what worked and what didn't. And then she put together a regimen for me, and she said, do this. And so I started to do it. I started exercising. I started getting new life and new energy because I was very tired. And anybody who knows anything about any kind of liver condition, when your liver is failing, you're really tired a lot. And so I started getting this new energy, and the hairs on my arms started sticking up. I'm like, oh, there's something going on here. And I continued to follow the protocol until I seen Dr. Frank White. And when I seen him, it was an experience of a lifetime. Because this man told me things about me that I had not opened my mouth and told him. And he knew, just because he had the ability to read my body. It is amazing what you can do when you know kinesiology. Because you can literally figure out where the imbalances are with this science. Kinesiology is the science of muscle testing. And through this muscle testing, you can figure out where your imbalances are. And you can also check herbs to correct those imbalances to see what works for you. And so this brother checked me out, told me what to do. I followed his protocol. I was getting well, and the medical doctors couldn't figure out how. They're like, how is this happening? He's not taking any medication. We haven't done any surgery. How is he getting well? So the primary care physician that I had, he wanted to know what was I doing. So I presented to him my protocol, my regimen, that Dr. Wyatt had me on. And he looked at it, and he said, why are you taking all this stuff? He said, he ain't doing nothing but taking your money. And I'm looking at him, right? And I'm like, really? Well, it's well spent, because I feel great. And then he hands it back to me, hands back my folder, and he said, what is he trying to do? Turn you into a Superman? I knew right then and there I was doing the right thing. Because if I was doing the wrong thing, he would have said, this stuff is kidding. But he looked at it. He medically couldn't admit that it was going to work. But the truth came out anyway when he said, what is he trying to do? Turn you into a Superman. I don't think anybody in this room wouldn't want to feel superhuman. Because I know I would. And hey, I feel great. So taking herbs is a good thing. Now, what you're going to learn today is how to find out where your vitamin and minerals are, the points on your body. And through polarity, you're going to be able to figure out where the imbalances are. I'm going to show you two forms of polarity when we get to that stage. You might not pick it up at first, but Believe me, if you practice it, you'll get it. Check. This is my key to health. Says my faith went so much faster than my reason that I could challenge the whole world and say God is, was, and ever shall be. Mahatma Gandhi said that. It's true, folks. There's one major thing we keep leaving out of the health picture, and that's God. You cannot get healthy until you reconnect with the Spirit. I'm telling you, you have to realize there is no disconnect. True health is mind, body, and soul. Okay? When you heal from the top down and inside out. So the mind has to be right in order to heal. Every organ and gland in your body is governed by some emotional component. Every organ and gland. So the number one cause of sickness is negative thinking. We have to reconnect. See, these hospitals can't connect you to God. Okay? They can't do that. So you can go to them all day, take all the medication, all the prescriptions, all you want, but you can't get healthy until you reconnect with your Creator. I'm telling you, that's the truth. You have to reconnect. What is natural healing? Okay? The body is a self-healing mechanism. Okay? Nourishment from the body comes in two forms. Physical food, what we eat, and spiritual food, mental and emotional. Okay? We have to learn to eat with a purpose and not for pleasure. That was the way the Creator originally meant for us to eat. And what He meant for us to eat is not this processed stuff that we get out of the supermarket, but the stuff that comes from the earth. And everything that comes from the earth has a seed. So the next time you're in the supermarket, stay away from the seedless grapes and the seedless watermelon, because that's hybrid food. That is not natural food. Okay? You cannot get what your body really needs from hybrid food. There's only two diseases that we believe in naturopathic medicine. Those two diseases, Western philosophy calls it malnutrition, toxicity. When we talk about malnutrition, right, we're not talking about a person that's skinny or look like their bag of bones. You can be overweight and be malnourished, okay? Malnutrition comes from your body not getting the proper nutrients that it needs, okay? You have to remember that you need to eat according to the nutritional deficiencies in your body. Eastern philosophy looks at this as circulation and congestion, meaning that if it's not moving, it's stuck. A lot of our aches and pains come from energy that is stuck. Things not moving, okay? They're clogged up. Alright? So we have to do the work to get things moving again. Most of the reason why things are stuck is because of today's standard American diet. And sad. And that's what it is. Because of improper nourishment, we can't stay in homeostasis. Homeostasis is when your body is alkaline. And when your body is alkaline, you can't get disease. Because disease live in an alkaline body. So we have to make sure that we're eating the right food to keep our bodies alkaline. When we're over acid, we're in a state, in a condition that we're susceptible to disease. This is what we want to get away from. We go to the next one. The true father of medicine was Imhotep, who was born 2600 BC. And he is the one who originally said, let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Not Hippocrates, who they give credit for that statement. He is not the author of this saying because he was born in 460 BC. Imhotep was the true father of medicine. Okay? Let's keep it real. We have to reconnect to our roots in order to get back healthy. Get back to our old African roots. Because we've been taught wrong. And what we've been following is caused us to be in the state that we're in right now. Now there's a book, and I'm pretty sure that Black and Nobel probably have it or can get it. There's a book by George James. It's called Stolen Legacy. He wrote the book in 1954. That's a good book to understand the truth of who you are and how our knowledge, our religion was stolen. And then we got his story and not ours. Go to the next one. The bodies are made up of the same organic material that is in the earth because we come from the earth. In order to remain in good health, we must put back the vitamins and minerals that our bodies are lacking. Every organ and gland is connected to some vitamin or mineral. And when our bodies is lacking in a particular vitamin or mineral, that organ or gland will become imbalanced and thus create an environment for disease. Everything that is in the earth is in us, okay? Because we come from the earth. So when we look for health, we got to look for the things that come from the ground. The herbs were put here for healing, not drugs. The herbs were put here for healing, okay? And the food that grows from the ground, the vegetables, the fruit, that was put here to help us to heal. Not the drugs. Because in those vegetables, in the fruit, is the same organic material that is in you. You can't get it from medication. Go to the next slide, please. To stay in good health, we must learn where our deficiencies are and what foods to eat and supplements we must take to correct these deficiencies. Because a lot of our food is grown in denatured soil and is being sprayed with pesticides and chemicals that make the food last long enough to sell in the supermarkets, we must take supplements. And that is so true. We have to supplement our bodies. Okay? We have to take herbs. We have to take vitamins and minerals. We have to do that. Because if you want to maintain health, if you want to be on this earth long enough to make a difference in this earth, you have to take care of yourself. You have to supplement and eat the right things. Go to the next slide. What is an herb? An herb is a plant that has medicinal properties capable of fixing or correcting a whole lot of imbalances that we incur. Synthetic drugs only mask the symptoms. The problem still exists. We must eat with an agenda. Food has a purpose and our diet should be based on nutritional deficiencies. Now, herbs correct imbalances. Drugs mask the situation. Let me give you a prime example. A lot of older guys that suffer with high blood pressure, they get on this high blood pressure medication. Still got high blood pressure. Doctors say, well, the medication I'm giving you is not bringing your pressure down. I need to increase the medication. What happens is we fall into this vicious cycle. We take more medicine and more medicine and more medicine, and then our kidneys fail. And then we end up on dialysis. And that's why you see these dialysis centers all over the city, like McDonald's. Because they get $3,500 every time you come to get your kidneys cleaned and your blood cleaned. So, do you think that they're going to tell you how to really control your high blood pressure? A lot of older guys that suffer with high blood pressure, even when they change their diet, is because of old kidney infections that never got corrected. Case in point, 21-year-old young guy swinging, doing your thing, you got a venereal disease. Okay, so you went to the doctor, got some penicillin, some tetracycline, you know, whatever else they got out there, an antibiotic to help to correct the situation. Well, guess what? It didn't correct the situation. All it did was mask it. You felt better, symptoms was gone, you thought you were better, but the problem is still in the body, laying dormant. And what happens later on is it comes back. And it comes back in another pattern, in another form. And so the kidneys don't work as good as they did when you were in your 20s. And you start retaining fluid and you don't know why. Okay? And then you get on high blood pressure medication trying to correct the situation, when if the doctor only looked at the fact that the kidneys needed to be corrected, they could have fixed the problem. This is why we got to learn how to take care of ourselves, how to understand the imbalances in our body and how to go about correcting them. Because you're not getting that knowledge in the hospital. Go to the next slide. These are the 8 most dangerous foods. White sugar, including white sugar substitutes. White flour, including cakes, pies, cookies, donuts, bagels. White bread, cream of wheat, grits, so-called whole wheat bread, pasta, sugary cereal. Groups of drinks, soda, coffee, some teas, orange juice, juices from the grocery store, drinks containing sugar substitutes, red meats, pork, dairy products including cow's milk. I don't care if it's 1%, 2%, or low fat, or skim. Not good. Cheese, macaroni and cheese, ice cream, animal fat, butter, margarine, corn oil, lard, saturated fats. Drinking too much fluids, including water. Now we need water, but you gotta know the right level. Junk food in general, well, we know all junk food is not good. Go to the next slide. This is what we got to stay away from. We want to maintain life, we want to maintain health. Stay away from the McDonald's, the Burger King, the KFC, the Taco Bell, the Subway. Stay away from them. I guess I'm not going to get a commercial with any of them, am I? Popeyes too. They just didn't get on there, but you know what I'm saying? Because there's more and more fast food chains coming about than I got on this slide. You know, we got the Checkers, can't leave them out. You know, Boston Market. We loaded today. You know what I mean? Because we become a fast-paced nation. We don't want to take the time to cook at home anymore. We grab something to eat and keep it moving. But we don't know that type of lifestyle is what's causing disease. We got to go back to the kitchen, okay? That's our health center. The kitchen is our health center. It's where we used to survive at, but now it's become our sickness center. We got to turn it back to our health center. Go to the next slide. Polarity. Now, to do kinesiology, you have to understand polarity. So I'm going to show you polarity. Everybody in this room has a negative and positive energy. And to understand polarity, you have to know what your negative and positive energy is. So we're going to do an exercise. I want participation from everybody in here. Give you a chance to wake up if you're a little tired. Stand up. Everybody stand up for me. I want you to feel this polarity. I want you to feel it. All right? Everybody stand up and relax. Relax. Don't tense up. I want you to take your left hand and put it over your navel. Okay? Take your right hand and put it over your left. Now, once you got Terrence, okay. Now, as you have it, bring your feet together, close together. And I want you all to relax. Don't hold yourself rigid or tense. Just relax, okay? And what I want you to do is repeat after me and say, body say yes, okay?
Body say yes.
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 Remember, relax. Body say yes.
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 Body say yes. Body say
Body say yes.
yes.
Body say yes.
Did everybody feel their body move slightly? Who in the room didn't feel it? You didn't feel it? Relax. Relax, move. Don't hold yourself rigid. Let your body loose. Feel the energy. Okay? We're going to do it again. Relax. Don't hold your body. Don't be afraid if you feel like you're going to fall. You catch your balance. Hold on. Again. Body say yes.
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 Body say yes. Did you feel it? Did you feel your body move? Yeah. Yes, it's just a slight movement. Your body's going to move. Now, we're going to do the same exercise. We're going to say body say no. Okay? Body say no. Relax your feet. Don't tense your body. Relax. You got to learn to relax. Body say no.
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 Body say no. Body say
Body say no.
no. Body say no.
Body say no.
Did you feel your body move in the opposite direction? Okay. All right. Some of us are kind of in tune, some of us aren't. But you keep working on it, you'll get it. Okay? All right, everybody can sit down. We're going to do another exercise I'm going to show you. This one, you can use going in the supermarket. Because you can use the first way I told you in the supermarket too, but I don't want anybody putting food to their thymus gland and saying body say yes, and people be like, oh, do. You know, because everybody don't understand this energy. The other way I'm going to show you how you can feel polarity. Keep your legs apart. Don't cross your legs. Uncross your legs. Don't keep your legs apart. Cross. The tips of your fingers, okay? The index finger and your thumb, the tips. Move it around in a circular motion, real slow, right on the tips. Feel it right on the tips, okay? Real slow, all right? Now, what you're going to do is, once you got that feeling, we're going to check for polarity. Change. Okay, now, I want everybody to take your hand, put it flat against your forehead this way. Everybody put your hand flat against your forehead, like I'm doing. Right, flat against your forehead. Yeah, no matter. Flat against your forehead. And on the tips of your finger, I want you to rub it around slowly in a circular motion. Real slow. It's going to feel either smooth or it's going to feel rough. It's going to feel like a little rough or a little smooth. Okay? Once you got that feeling, okay, everybody feel a little something? All right? Now that you got that feeling, I want you to turn your hand around, put it flat on your forehead, and do it real slow. Tune in, really tune in. And you should feel a different texture. It should be either, if it was rough the other way, it should be smooth this way. If it was smooth that way, it should be rough this way. How many of you felt the difference? You feel the difference? Want to do it again? Flat. This is positive. I mean, this is negative. This is negative energy. Real slow, the tips of your fingers. Real slow in the circular motion. Tune in, really tune in. Really, really tune in. And once you got that feeling, whether it's smooth or rough, turn it around. This is positive energy. Real slow. Tune in, feel it. Feel it. It should feel different than the negative side. Did anybody feel it different? Everybody feel it different? Okay, you feel it? Okay. That's the first simple test that we give you to understand polarity. You work on it, you'll get it. You gotta get in tune with your body. Really get in tune with your body. Okay? Because remember, we disconnected from our true energy. Get in tune, work on it, you'll get it. But this is how we figure things out. The form of kinesiology that I use is cross fingers. A little difficult to learn, but the best way. Go to the next slide. Now, we're going to start going over the nutrition on the points. I gave you guys a chart. The first sheet with the man on it. It's a vitamin chart. Everybody look at that. Okay. Now, vitamin A. I wanted to know if a person was deficient in vitamin A. It's the energy point is 2 fingers over the right eye. I wanted to know if a person was deficient in vitamin A. It's 2 fingers over the right eye as the test point for that particular vitamin. Okay? Now, what does that vitamin mean to us? If you have enough vitamin A in your body, that vitamin A helps to nourish the skin. It helps with tissue oxygenation. It protects against the damaging effects of environmental pollutants. It increases the use of blood vessel pathways, teeth, bones, hair, gums, and nails. Counteracts the effects of eye problems. Okay? Now, when you're deficient in that particular vitamin, you have vision problems, lymphatic congestion, headaches, itching, cancer, HIV, chronic sinus, diarrhea, Crohn's disease, liver imbalances, infections, viruses and bacteria, immune tissue imbalances. Now, if you're deficient in vitamin A, what are some of the things that we can do to correct it? Okay? We all get deficient in something in our life, but there's always something out there to fix it, because the Creator never left you hanging. Here are some of the food sources for vitamin A. Kale, carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkin seeds, alfalfa. These 2 here are herbs also. So, a person that's deficient in vitamin A wants to gravitate towards these food sources because it's going to help with correcting an imbalance. Carrot juice is very good for correcting that imbalance or improving it. Go to the next slide. The B vitamin. B vitamins help control the stress. And many of us here have a lot of stress, especially in this world that we live in. The B vitamin family is so important to understand because it will help you deal with stress. If I wanted to know if a person has some stress issues, this is a stress test point right here by the temple. This side represents male energy, okay? This test point on the right side, on the left side, is the female stress test point. So I can literally find out whether your stress is male or female related. Because we all have a male and female side, a yin and a yang. Okay? Your right side of your body is male. Your left side of your body is female. Never forget that. Because when I told you that everything is not physical, some of it is emotional and spiritual, when you understand that, you're on your way back to health. Because when you start figuring those things out, then you'll know what to do as far as correcting them. But first, you got to know what's going on. Click to the next slide. Vitamin. That's B1. Okay? Thiamine, when you have enough thiamine in the body, demonstrates pharmacological effects on the brain. Acts as an important neurotransmitter involved in memory. Okay? It also helps with the acetylcholine. It's hard for me to say some of these words, I apologize. But that's a neurotransmitter that affects both the peripheral and central nervous system. It helps to prevent high blood pressure. Helps with seizures, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's. So, I'm saying this to you to make you understand that people who suffer with these challenges or imbalances, one of the approaches they need to be looked at is if that person is B1 deficient. And we can very easily find that out because the test point for your B vitamins is right at your navel, with your fingers 2 inches apart. That's the test point for B vitamins, okay? And you can literally find out what B vitamins are out of balance by understanding that test point. Now, a person that is deficient in this particular vitamin could be subject to weakness in the legs and knees, painful calf muscles, edema, a swelling, an enlarged heart, peripheral paralysis, mental confusion, digestive problems, depression, thyroid imbalances, ear imbalances, okay? Listlessness, and very irritable. Now, like I said, when there is an imbalance, there's always a food or a herb to help correct it. Here are some food sources for thiamine. Sunflower seeds, black beans, tuna, green peas, oats, rye and whole wheat, herbs, alfalfa, capsium, which is cayenne, fenugreek, kelp, dandelion, red clover, burdock, papaya, sage, parsley, catnip, raspberry leaf. Okay? When you're deficient in that particular vitamin, B1, those are herbs and foods that'll help replenish it. Go to the next slide. Riboflavin, which is vitamin B2, used to be called vitamin G. Riboflavin is essential in the production of energy. Helps to regenerate glutathione, which protects the cells against free radicals. Helps to reduce migraine headaches. Helps to reduce sickle cell anemia. Increases iron breathing capacity. Good for correcting corneal redness and inflamed tongue. Just from that particular vitamin. Here are some deficiencies. Bloodshot eyes, cracks around the lips and the mouth, abnormal sensitivity to light, itching and burning eyes, cataracts, premature wrinkles, skin conditions and splitting nails. Now, what foods and what herbs correct this imbalance? Well, food sources, you got blackstrap molasses, you got kale, spinach, beet greens, broccoli, horseradish, cabbage, cauliflower, asparagus, raw green leafy vegetables. What herbs work? Thyme leaf, peppermint leaf, parsley, horseradish root, hops flower, crucicola leaf, eyebright, echinacea root, comfrey leaf. Those are herbs that help correct an imbalance in vitamin B2. Go to the next slide.
Can we copy that?
Well, you know what? There's so much stuff that I have to present today that you might not have a chance to write all this down, but it's going to be on DVD. So you can get a copy of it and rewind it back and watch it and rewind it back. And there'll be classes in the future on it, so don't get discouraged if you miss some of it, okay? Because it's going to be available to you again. Vitamin B3, niacin, okay? If you're deficient in B3, okay, look at the deficiencies here. You got cardiovascular, nervous system, and gastrointestinal tract are usually affected by this. You got mental confusion, high levels of blood cholesterol, lessened muscle tone, depression, grouchy behavior, pellagra, that's anxiety, irritability, diarrhea, dermatitis, schizophrenia, and flushing, migraine headaches. Now, when your body has enough vitamin B3, enough niacin in it, it helps in the utilization of over 200 different enzymes. So if this vitamin helps in the utilization of over 200 enzymes, we definitely got to make sure that we got enough niacin in our body so we can break down our foods. Because the enzymes in your body helps you break down foods. They're like little Pac-Men. They eat up and absorb the nutrients. Now, it also helps to increase blood flow. So if you got a circulation problem, you definitely want to make sure you got enough ice. Helps prolong clotting time. Mitigates tension of head and body. Reduces serum blood cholesterol levels. Increases energy cell metabolism. Good for dementia. For our senior citizens out there who are getting dementia. Facilitates glucose and fat metabolism. Helps in preventing arteriosclerosis, which is the hardening of the arteries. And it also helps relieve depression. So, believe me, when you're in certain moods, there are certain vitamins and minerals that your body is lacking, and that's why you're in those moods, okay? It just isn't by happenstance that you're in those particular moods, okay? Go to the next slide. These are some food sources to get niacin from. Glutamine, which is beans, whole grains, avocados, liver, organ meat, wheat bran, almonds, split peas, sesame seeds, wild rice, whole wheat flour, rice bran, brewer's yeast, brown rice, peanuts, red chili peppers. Here are some herbs that is high in niacin. Slippery elm bark, red raspberry leaf, red clover, pea pollen, passion flower, Phoenix ginseng root, ginkgo leaf, devil's claw root, damiana leaf, chamomile flowers, capsium fruit, boneset herb, black coach root, asparagus root. Go to the next one. B5, pantothenic acid. That is a particular B vitamin that I find that many of us are deficient in. And the reason why is because of the lifestyle. The stuff that we deal with. The news, the violence, the newspapers. We can't get away from the violence, the negative broadcast of information, the negative music that we hear broadcasted to us daily. All of that burns out your adrenal glands. Your drive to work, your drive home from work, burn out your adrenal glands. The workplace, how they treat you in the workplace, especially in today's corporate America, burn out your adrenal glands. Stress. B5 is a big deficiency among us. Now, here are some of the advantages of having B5 in the body. Helps to stop citrus allergies. So if you have a problem with eating oranges, limes, tomatoes, grapefruits, pineapples, tangerines, you could be lacking in B5. And that's why you have an allergic reaction to the citrus. Increases production of cornea. I can hardly see some of this, I apologize. Cortisone. Also anti-stress vitamins. And they can help change gray hair back to its original color for some of us. Some of us get to a point where there's no return, including our hair too. Helps to lower cholesterol and triglycerides. Helps cellular metabolism. Helps prevent rheumatoid arthritis. A potent antioxidant. Also enhances physical and mental stamina. The deficiencies of this particular vitamin, gastrointestinal tract issues, vomiting, insomnia, low blood sugar, burning foot syndrome, numbness and shooting pains in the feet, fatigue, high stress levels, addiction, adrenal exhaustion, emotional sensitivity that can cause asthma attacks. All from this particular vitamin deficiency. Because this particular vitamin governs the adrenal gland. And the adrenal gland sit over top of your kidney. That's your fight or flight motion. Okay? So a lot of times when we got that burned out feeling, our adrenal glands are out of balance. Food sources for pantothenic acid. Mushrooms, broccoli, hazelnut, soybean flour, lentils, cashews, dry oatmeal, avocado, whole rye flour, sweet potatoes, strawberries, corn, beans, molasses, pecans, cashews, sunflower seeds, royal jelly, eggs, fresh vegetables. Here's herbs that are high in pantothenic acid. Ginseng, ginkgo, rutacola, black cohosh, blue cohosh, hops, chickweed, horsetail, dandelion, ginger, marshmallow, mullet. Go to the next slide. Vitamin B6. Sometimes when you're retaining a lot of fluid in your body, a lot of what we call water weight, because a lot of times when people, it's not all fat, some of it's just by retaining excess water. Well, vitamin could be lacking, and that's the reason why you retain it. These are some of the advantages of having that particular vitamin in the body. It aids in the prevention of epilepsy and osteosclerosis. It's necessary for the production of hydrochloric acid, helps in the absorption of proteins and fats, promotes red blood cell formation, feeds the pituitary gland, aids in the balancing of electrolytes, helps in the absorption of B12 and amino acids, helps to stop motion sickness. Here are some of the deficiencies of this particular vitamin. Carpal tunnel syndrome, anemia, migraine headaches, skin disorders, imbalanced electrolytes, potassium and sodium, mental depression, loss of muscular control, lip and mouth inflammation, morning sickness, PMS, hearing problems, learning difficulties, halitosis, and nervousness, and numbness in the body. So, for those of y'all who know about halitosis, you know what I mean, that's, foul odor coming from the breath, might, in a nice way, instead of offering them some gum, ask you ever try vitamin B6? They might not know what you're talking about. but a nicer way to say it than say, hey, you need some gum. Alright, let's start. Here are some of the food sources from B6. Green peppers, carrots, leafy vegetables, spinach, walnuts, rice bran, tempeh, potatoes, alfalfa, peas, glutamines, bananas, Brussels sprouts, lentils, avocados, dry lima beans. Here's some herbs that are high in vitamins B6. Capsium, red clover, alfalfa, kelp, uva ursa, horsetail, catnip, papaya, ginger, horsetail, I wrote it twice, I'm sorry, rejern, black cohosh, chickweed. Now, that's a lot of information that you can get just from knowing the test point where the B vitamins are. You see how powerful knowing this stuff is? Go to the next slide. Now, this particular vitamin used to be called vitamin B8, and it's called inositol. This particular B vitamin deficiency, if you got problems with your eyes, you could be lacking in this particular B vitamin. Renal disease, that's a kidney problem. Respiratory distress syndrome. Hypercholesterolemia. Problems of muscular control, constipation, high cholesterol, baldness, eczema, bladder weakness, all from a lack of vitamin B8 in the body. Now, when we have this particular vitamin imbalance, it helps to combine with choline, which is also in the B vitamin family, to form leptin, which nourishes the brain cells. Have you ever had that cloudy feeling, like you say, like a brain fog? Things just ain't working right up there. Your body could be lacking in leptin. Okay, because that will give you that effect. Okay, one of the things that leptin does is it helps the body break down fats. Okay, so this particular vitamin works in conjunction, with choline to help form leptin in the body. Helps to lower cholesterol, reverses hair loss, reverses the degeneration of the myelin sheath, which is a covering over the heart. There's also a white matter that coats the nerve cells as well. Reverse depression, helps with the treatment of a wide range of liver disorders, helps with the action of brain neurotransmitters, helps diabetic neuropathy, helps to control panic attacks. Okay, when you're deficient in this particular vitamin, you see the problems that it causes: eye disorders, renal disease, respiratory distress syndrome, bladder weakness. So A lot of these problems or symptoms that you might be having could be to a lack of vitamin B8. Go to the next slide, please. These are food sources. Okay, citrus fruit, limonene, seeds, nuts, whole grains, unprocessed oatmeal, liver, milk, corn, cantaloupe, organ meats, dry beans, and peas. Here are the herbs: lecithin, eyebright, catnip, kelp, capsium, hops, red clover, alfalfa, papaya, black walnut. Go to the next one. This is vitamin B9, folic acid. This helps regulate the fetal and embryonic nerve formation. So this is an important vitamin to have for females when you're pregnant. Prevents premature birth. Needed for energy production. Helps with red blood cell formation and white blood cell formation. Strengthens the immune system. Aids in the help to prevent acne, infertility, gout, cancer, cerebrovascular insufficiencies, which is a decreased blood supply to the brain. Helps to prevent senility, which is senile or dementia. The deficiencies of this particular vitamin is birth defects, insomnia, forgetfulness, fatigue, shortness of breath, diarrhea, anemia, also characterized by enlarged red blood cells, gingivitis, abnormal pap smears, irritability, apathy, digestive problems, growth restrictions, labored breathing, spinal bifida, osteoporosis, arteriosclerosis, all from a lack of this particular vitamin. Go to the next slide. Here are the food sources for vitamin B9. Mushrooms, salmon, barley, dates, brown rice, lentils, bran, beef, tuna, cheese, oranges, split peas, brewer's yeast, soy flour, rice germ, navy beans, almonds, fresh spinach, peanut butter. Here are the herbs for vitamin B9. Alfalfa, eyebright, marshmallow, fenugreek, mullein, golden seal, catnip, ginger, chickweed, dandelion, hawthorn, hops, cascaris ingrata, burdock, and red clover. Go to the next slide, please. B12. A lot of us are familiar with this one. B12. We used to be under the thinking that was the only way for us to get B12 was to eat meat. You can get B12 without eating meat, okay? They have B12 supplements, and there are food sources other than meat where you can get B12 and also herbs. B12 helps treat depression and fatigue, helps with memory loss, prevents anemia, helps with bronchial asthma, improves coordination, has an antiviral action, helps with growth, helps with carbohydrate, fats, and protein metabolism, helps insomnia, helps with impotency. So some of us who have problems with impotency, I'm talking about the men, you might be just deficient in B12. You know, and one thing that I know that makes the male find out what's wrong with himself is when he's impotent. Might not go to doctors no other time, but when that part of his body don't work, here comes the doctor. Kept going to the doctor. It ain't working. Well, it could simply be because you're deficient in vitamin B12. You might go to your doctor and they tell you you got enlarged prostate and have you on some prostate medication that you might not even need to be on. So when you know your body, you can figure things out. Even the reason why that's occurring. Instead of just freely going and getting Viagra and all the other stuff, the male enhancement formulas, without figuring out what's going on with the male reproductive system. Alright, the deficiency in vitamin B12, brain damage, heart palpitations, nervousness and irritability, ringing in the ears, abnormal difficulties, abdominal difficulties, nausea, vomiting, poor appetite, unpleasant body odor, reduced sensory perception, menstrual problems, impaired nerve function, that's that pins and needle sensation, numbness and diarrhea. Here are the food sources for vitamin B12. You got liver, eggs, lamb, sunflower seeds, organ meats, raw wheat germ, fish, cheese, oysters, clams, sardines, trout, dried whey, Swiss cheese. Here are the herbs that are high in B12. Bee pollen, ginseng, capsium, white oak bark, cascara sagrada, hawthorn, fenugreek, dongai, burdock, kelp, and red clover. All high in vitamin B12. Go to the next one. B13. Now, how many people in the audience know about B13? Most of us thought that it ended at B12. Well, it didn't. Okay. B13, uric acid. It's a chelator for calcium and magnesium. Helps with white blood cells to fight disease patterns. Helps with B12 and folic acid, B9 for metabolism. Now the deficiencies of this particular vitamin: liver problems, premature aging, cell degeneration, multiple sclerosis. So how many people that had a challenge of that quote-unquote multiple sclerosis was ever told that they had a B13 deficiency? Food sources: mother's milk. See why it's important to breastfeed when you have your child? Because we're the only species in the world that drink somebody else's milk. The cow don't drink milk from a pig. We're the only ones that drink another animal's milk. This vitamin is very important in nurturing your child. It's so important. Whey is another food source to get this particular vitamin, and root vegetables. Herbs, alfalfa, bladderwrack, and hops are herbs that are high in this particular vitamin. Go to the next slide. B15, how many people heard of that? B15 protects against environmental pollutants. If you work in a very toxic environment where you're around a lot of pollutants all day, you want to make sure that you got enough vitamin B15 in your body to deal with the pollutants. It helps stop the craving for liquor. So if you have a problem with drinking, maybe you're lacking this particular vitamin and that's why it's so hard for you to stop. Helps relieve asthma, angina, aids in protein synthesis, which is a process in which cells build protein, lowers blood cholesterol levels. The deficiencies in this particular vitamin, nerve and glandular disorders, diminished oxygen, heart disease, bodily tissue problems, cirrhosis, fatigue, immune disorders. Here are the food sources: brown rice, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, apricot pits, sesame seeds. B15 supplements. So I tell you, we got to take supplements and we ain't getting it from the food. Go to the next slide, please. B17. How many people heard of B17? Well, get to know B17. because that's a particular vitamin that deals with the immune system. And a person that's deficient in B17 could be susceptible to tumors, because this particular vitamin helps with various cancers and malignant tumors. So learn and understand this particular vitamin. It also helps to suppress cancerous growth. Now, let me say something. I had a doctor that I had to see one time. He had a problem with an imbalanced liver. He had what they call quote-unquote liver cancer. And in conversing with the doctor, I asked him about B17, because when I checked him, I found that he was deficient in that. He told me he never heard of B17. I said, you never heard of B17? And so I gave the term that he recognized. I said, it's Laetrile, right? He knew what that was. He said, Laetrile, yeah, I know Laetrile. I said, but you can't get that here in the United States. He said, you got to get that out of the country. What happened was, because he was an MD, his mind started thinking medically. He started thinking drugs. So I said to him, you can get it here. Peaches grow here. Last time I checked. Peaches is high in Laetrile. Apples. When they say apple a day keep the doctor away, it's true. Cherries, plums, apricot pits, all high in Laetrile. Okay? Herbs, flaxseed, buckwheat. So, all those particular foods and herbs are available to us. We don't have to go out the country to get those. Okay? So, no B17. It could be your best friend. Go to the next one. Biotin is another B vitamin. It used to be called vitamin H. The deficiencies of biotin: depression, loss of appetite, muscular pain, high blood pressure, cradle cap, sore tongue, gastrointestinal tract problems, gray hair, nervous disorders, intense fatigue, depression, patchy areas of white skin, irritability, skin rashes, gastrointestinal disorders, vertigo, infertility, loss of libido, reproductive disorders. Alright, lupus. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to mess that up. Acts as an antioxidant, maintains healthy intestinal flora, helps protect against sunburn, skin cancer, helps in the assimilation of B5, acts as a coenzyme in the breakdown utilization of protein, assists in the formation of red blood cells, helps regulate glandular function, aids with nervous disorders. Here are some of the food sources: molasses, yogurt, fruit, fish, whole grains, brewer's yeast, wheat germs, eggs, milk, liver. Here are some of the herbs: alfalfa, capsicum, catnip, kelp, black walnut, red clover, papaya, hops, barley green. Okay? Go to the next one for me. Vitamin C. Okay? Vitamin C, the test point for vitamin C. The test point. Right in your left shoulder, right in the indentation, right here. On your left shoulder is a test point for vitamin C. I wanted to know if you were deficient in vitamin C. This is the test point. Okay? I can also tell how deficient, like how many milligrams deficient. A lot of times some of us that have quote-unquote immune challenges is because we don't have enough vitamin C in the body, even when we supplement. Because some of us just take like maybe one vitamin C supplement that might be like 500 milligrams. Most cases, you need anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C to correct an imbalance or maintain a healthy immune system. You know, everybody's different. So sometimes just taking one 500 milligram tablet of vitamin C is not giving you enough. Especially with us, because we're people of color. We need more nutrients. We need more vitamins and minerals, okay? Because melanin in our skin, we have to take more vitamins and minerals to produce the melanin. Vitamin C helps with blood vessel walls, improves circulation in blood, prevents frostbite, freezing, helps with cataract, helps with ulcers, helps prevent hepatitis, eye infections, fights bacterial and viral infections, fights adrenal gland and allergies and sinus problems. When you're deficient, you could be subjected to scurvy or sclerosis. Childhood diseases are a lot of times a result of a deficiency in vitamin C, like problems with tonsils and ear infections. Bleeding gums could be a problem with a deficiency in vitamin C. Easily bruising, shortness of breath, aching bones, muscles, rheumatism, nosebleeds, susceptibility to diseases, softening of the bones, poor appetite, and digestive problems, goosebumps, teeth weakness. Here are your food sources: fresh vegetables, apples, cherries, tomatoes, green peppers, red peppers, oranges, cabbage, broccoli, potatoes, parsley, olive oil. Here are your herbs that are high in vitamin C: beef pollen, alfalfa, peppermint, pork root, thyme, kelp, burdock, ginger, golden seal, eyebright, fennel, red clover, barley grass, garlic, yellow dot, dandelion, yarrow, barberry, echinacea. Go to the next one. Vitamin D. So very important to us. So very important to black people of color. Vitamin D test point is right along the pant seam, just below the indention where you bend over, the crease in your waist. Right along the pant seam is the test point for vitamin D. This particular vitamin is so important to us because when we reach the winter months, our body does not get enough vitamin D. The reason why is because it's a sun vitamin. It's a vitamin that comes from the sun. We are people of the sun, and we need the vitamins and minerals that the sun produces so that we can maintain strong bones, healthy circulation. Okay? So one of the reasons why we ache so bad in the wintertime is because we don't have enough sun. You have shorter daylight hours. The sun is farther away from us. And so our body feels the effect. Okay? So you have to make sure that you supplement vitamin D. Okay? Because that is where it comes from. It comes from the sun. You ever wonder why you feel better in the summer than you do in the winter? That is the reason why. Okay? And it works in conjunction with calcium and magnesium. All of those vitamins and minerals come from the sun. We need vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium. We have to supplement that in the wintertime because we don't get enough of it. Okay? That's why we suffer with problems with poor circulation, aches and pains, in the joints, because you're not getting enough. Can't relax, muscles tense, not getting enough in the winter. I'll go over some of them, but I have so much I want to show you and I'm going to try to get through a lot of this. But one of the things that it does is it aids in vitamin A assimilation, helps in the absorption of phosphorus and calcium, helps bone loss, helps treat gingivitis, that's a pink eye, help prevent acid in the mouth, aids sleeping problems, helps rheumatoid arthritis, promotes healthy skin. Deficiencies is severe tooth decay, cramps, insanity, rickets, burning in the mouth, and burning sensation in the mouth and throat, rough, scaly skin, brittle bones, constipation, gas, insomnia, muscular weakness, a sunburn appearance. The foods that are high in vitamin D, salmon, bone meal, egg yolks, sardines, fish liver oil, tuna, sunflower seeds, organ meats, butter. Herbs that are high in vitamin D, chickweed, eyebright, red raspberry, mullein, fenugreek, alfalfa, sarsaparilla, rose hips, and papaya. Pay attention to your vitamin D in the wintertime. Go to the next one, please. Vitamin E. This is a vitamin that's very good for circulation, for those of y'all who have circulation problems. But vitamin E deficiencies, nephritis, heart problems, fertility problems, loss of sexual interest, miscarriages, improper blood clotting, lack of stamina, muscle degeneration, red blood cell destruction, anemia. Here are some of the advantages. Speeds wound healing, helps us speed up the healing of wounds, reduces the aging process, restores potency in men, helps pain of closed veins, protects lungs against air pollution, relief of migraine headaches, stops cold sores, helps menstrual problems, removes liver spots, works as a diuretic. Now here are the food sources: whole wheat, soybeans, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, raw leafy greens, eggs, avocados. Okay, you got herbs, skullcap, slippery elm, dandelion, bee pollen, blue cohosh, comfrey, bongai, rose hips, licorice, golden seal, yarrow, and ginseng. The test point for vitamin E. Here is the test point. In the left shoulder, the opposite shoulder of the vitamin C test point, in the right shoulder, in the right shoulder is your test point for vitamin E. Alright? Left side is the vitamin C test point. Right side indentation is the vitamin E test point. Okay? So this is the test point for vitamin E. Go to the next slide, please. Vitamin F. Now, how many people know about vitamin F? Vitamin F is your essential fatty acids. Okay? Now, this is the test point right above your clavicle right here. Okay? On the right side is the test point for vitamin F. Okay? Which is your essential fatty acids. And when I test people in this area, if there's a weakness, I know they've been eating a lot of fried stuff because that will deplete your essential fats. Okay? Now, that deficiency in the essential fatty acids, varicose veins, loss of sex drive, decline of friendly bacteria in the body, eczema, dandruff, acne, cholesterol buildup, underweight or overweight, gallstones. Advantages: helps the thyroid and the adrenal glands, lubricates body cells and aids oxygen through the bloodstream, treats acne, combats heart disease, protects against harmful effects of x-rays, aids in the growth and cellular health, regulates blood coagulation. Herbs that are high in vitamin F: yarrow, red raspberry, slippery elm, black currant oil. Here are some of the food sources: walnut, pecan, almond, soybean oil, wheat germ, sunflower oil, avocados, peanut oil. Food sources high in essential fatty acids, vitamin F. Go to the next one. Vitamin K. How many of you know about vitamin K? This is an important vitamin for women. It's good for you females to know about this particular vitamin, especially those who still have a cycle. Vitamin K deficiency, difficulty in absorbing nutrients, colitis, celiac disease, excessive diarrhea, internal bleeding, improper blood clotting. Advantages of this particular vitamin: reduces excessive menstrual flow for those who have those periods that they bleed real heavy. Treats coronary thrombosis, reduces hemorrhaging, used to prepare women for childbirth. Here are the food sources of this particular vitamin: egg yolk, sunflower oil, yogurt, soybeans, spinach, wheat bran, cauliflower, carrots, peas, tomatoes, strawberry, corn, wheat germ, kale, here are the herbs: gluticola, slippery elm, yarrow, papaya, safflower, and alfalfa are the herb sources for vitamin K. Go to the next one, please. Vitamin P, your bioflavonoid test point. Vitamin P works in conjunction with vitamin C. The test point is on the opposite side of where your essential fatty acid test point is. It's on the left side, in the indentation in your clavicle, on the left side. Okay? This is the test point for the bioflavonoids. When you're deficient in this particular vitamin, you can be susceptible to nosebleeds, hemorrhoids, heavy menstrual bleeding, postpartum bleeding, easy bruising and bleeding, skin disorders, bleeding gums. Here are the advantages of vitamin P. Treats ulcers, protects against excessive blood clotting, treats asthma, treats dizziness due to inner ear problems, aids in the function of vitamin C, helps fragile capillaries, helps with respiratory infections. Here are some of the food sources of vitamin P: grapefruits, paprika, broccoli, tomatoes, buckwheat, cantaloupe, blackberries, cherries, apricots, plums, grapes, spinach, lemons, cantaloupe, red clover. Here are some of the herbs: red clover, burdock, dandelion, slippery elm, rose hips. Those are some of the herbs that are high in vitamin P. Next slide. Calcium. Okay. Very important that we have enough calcium in our body. Okay, this is something that we lack in the wintertime, so very good to get yourself a calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D supplement to do in the winter. Okay? In the summer you might not need as much because you're getting the sun, more sun. But a lack in this particular mineral: heart palpitations, muscle cramps, sleeping problems, weak muscles, painful joints, arthritis, menstrual cramps, muscle and nerve irritability, backaches, fragile bones, triglycerides. Food sources: you got yogurt, you got sardines, salmon, let's see, greens, turnip greens, raw spinach, oatmeal, almonds, kale, navel oranges, raisins, you got broccoli, chickpeas. All those things are high in calcium. So some of the herbs that are high in calcium: you got barberry, chamomile, caraway seeds. You got mistletoe, nettles, parsley, poodle arco, plantain, poppy seed, raspberry, raspberry, shepherd's purse, valerian root, white oak bark, yellow dot. Those are some of the herbs that are high in calcium. Go to the next slide. Copper. How many of us know about copper? Being deficient in copper can lead to a couple of disorders that you might have not paid attention to. But before I get to the copper, the calcium touch point, right here in the left shoulder, okay, in the muscle part. Alright? This is a test point for the calcium, to see if you're calcium deficient. Copper. The test point for copper is right in the crease of your waist when you bend over. Test point on the left side is a test point for copper. If you have a deficiency in copper, edema could be a problem, difficulty breathing, bone disorders, anemia, eczema, graying of hair, sexual indifference, low blood pressure, fatigue. Here's some of the advantages. Helps to manufacture red blood cells, taste perception, hair and skin pigmentation, helps with vitamin C oxidation, converts iron into hemoglobin, necessary for proper nerve function, increases energy. Now, the food sources for copper: prunes, green leafy vegetables, peas, whole grains, almonds, dry beans, oranges, beets, most seafood, and whole grains. Here go some of the herbs: comfrey, chickweed, valerian, eyebright, garlic, sarsaparilla, logulia, juniperberries, horsetail, kelp, yarrow, peppermint, golden seal. Okay? Those are the herbs and food sources for copper. Go to the next slide. Iodine, which is known as the metabolizer. Iodine, the test point, right here, in the hole in your neck, right in between the clavicle, right here. That's a test point for iodine, excuse me. That's a test point for iodine, okay? If you're deficient in this particular mineral, I guarantee you're going to have a problem with your thyroid, because iodine governs the thyroid, okay? Deficiencies of iodine: obesity, hardening of the arteries, lack of energy, nervousness, cold hands and feet, poor metabolism, depression, unhealthy hair, nails, teeth, and skin, lethargy, anemia. Think of some of the advantages: helps to burn excess fat, prevents goiters, helps with dieting, helps hypothyroidism, sexual potency, gives more energy. Think of some of the food sources: sea plants, mushrooms, pears, onions, table salt, fish, cabbage, onions, radishes, green grapes, kale, avocado, tomatoes, mushrooms, celery, artichokes, seaweed, watercress, herbs, black walnut, kelp, both, Irish moss. All those are high in iodine. Go to the next one. Magnesium. Magnesium helps with fighting depression, lowers blood pressure, helps with muscle function, necessary for strong teeth, soft tissue, helps acid-alkaline balance, so it helps with your pH. Mineral metabolism, sparks energy release in the body, helps turn blood sugar into energy, fights depression. Okay? The deficiencies of this particular mineral: muscle tremors, irregular heartbeat, malnutrition, loss of appetite, disorientation and rapid pulse, blood clots in the heart and brain, easily aroused anger. Foods where you can get with magnesium: figs, brown rice, peaches, lemons, grapefruit, bran, almonds, honey, fresh green vegetables, yellow corn, soybeans, honey, lima beans, herbs, comfrey, dandelion, garlic, rucola, alfalfa, chamomile, capsicum, mullein, hops, peppermint, nettle leaves, oat straw. Those are herbs that are high in magnesium. Now the test point for magnesium and also for manganese is right here below the navel. The inch below the navel is the test point. Okay? Go to the next one. Manganese, which I said the test point is the same for both. The deficiency, brittle bones, ear noises, dizziness, reproductive imbalances, poor cartilage development, inability to remove excess sugar from the blood, memory problems. Advantages, helps diabetes, multiple sclerosis, reverses coordination loss, aids digestion and food utilization, helps central nervous system function, helps in the production of fatty acids. Here are the food sources. Whole grain cereals, green leafy vegetables, nuts, beets, sweet potatoes, egg yolk, corn, prunes, herbs, barberry, catnip, chickweed, botany, licorice, aloe, red clover, uva ursa, blue colors, horsetail and garlic, all high in the mineral manganese. Go to the next one. Alright, this is the test point for phosphorus is right here on the left side, right along the crease, the same as the area for vitamin D. Is a test point for phosphorus. Okay. Now, after I go through this one, I'm gonna move on a little bit because I see the time is flying. Like so much I want to show you guys. Alright, phosphorus. If you have problems with sciatic rheumatism, deficiency of phosphorus, lung tuberculosis, bleeding and spongy gums, insanity, rickets, indifference to sex, poor appetite control, tooth decay, cataracts. Here are some of the advantages of phosphorus. Helps with cell metabolism, nerve impulses, helps assimilation of proteins, carbohydrates and fats, promotes heart regularity. Here go the food sources. Grains, seeds, vegetables, meat, poultry, squash seeds, wheat germ, rice bran, wheat bran, pumpkin seeds, Brazilian nuts, rice polishing. Here are the herbs, pokeroot, red raspberry, sage, slippery elm, white oak bark, comfrey, alfalfa, hawthorn, kelp, wood botany, capsicum, and garlic. Okay? Those are the herb sources of phosphorus. Go to the next slide. Okay. I want to show y'all some iridology, so I'm going to go through a lot of these points. I'm not going to go into too much of the deficiencies and advantages because we got, not a lot of time. We got time to go over a lot of other stuff, but I want to get to some other things. But this test point right here, in the hole in your cheek on the right side, is a test point for potassium. So if you wanted to know if you have a potassium deficiency, this is the area, okay? The left side, the hole in your cheekbone on the left side, sodium test point, okay? If you wanted to know if your body was lacking sodium, this is the test point for sodium, all right? What he has up there now is some amino acid test point. Because a lot of times what happens is we forget about the amino acids. And they are very important because they help with a lot of things. And a lot of holistic practitioners and nutritionists recognize that you gotta have the correct balance of amino acids in the body for certain things to function properly. So these are some of the touch points for the amino acids. We're going to skip. Go back down. These are some more amino acid test points on the fingers. Okay? These are all amino acid test points. Go to the next one. These are more amino acid test points they're all on the right side of the body too. But they're all amino acid test points here. Alright, iology. Now, the one science that I showed y'all was kinesiology. I mean, the kinesiology of test points that I was showing you. This science here that we call iology deals with reading the eyes. Because the eyes are truly the window to the soul. You can see a lot of things in the eyes. Okay? And through these series of slides, I'm going to show you that if you understand the language of the eyes, why you don't have to get x-rays done. Because you'll be able to see in the eyes the same thing that you can see in the x-ray, but you don't get the radiation. Okay. Now, iridology, what it is, it's the study of the eyes using the sciences of iridology, which is the study of the iris, sclerology, which is the study of the whites of the eyes, where you can see challenges in the body 2 days to a year before it actually becomes a physical problem. And then you have pupil border dynamics, which is the study of the pupil. Okay? And you would be amazed at some of the information that you can find just by studying the pupils as far as personalities in a person. The Rayet model is another eye study that studies personality. So you can really, by understanding this science, really see a lot of things with people. You can see personalities, you can see challenges in the body, you can see a lot of problems with the immune system. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Go to the next slide, please. Alright, now, one of the areas that you see in the eye, the autonomic nerve system, is a division of the nervous system responsible for involuntary visceral, which is a gut response to one's environment. The autonomic nervous system is further divided into two separate nervous systems that extend the length of the spinal cord and control an integrated chain of bodily actions and reactions. Now, I pointed that particular one out to say that when you look into the iris, the autonomic nerve root is a landmark in the eye that we use to figure out what's going on. Could you go to the next slide, please? Alright, now, in reading the iris, there are 7 zones in the iris, okay? The first zone here, the pupil, is the stomach zone. This is the area of the stomach, alright? The next zone represents the intestines in the second zone. Alright? In the third zone, you have the heart, the bronchus, the pancreas, the adrenal gland, the pituitary and pineal gland, and the gallbladder in the third zone of the eye. In the fourth zone, you have the prostate, the uterus, and the skeletal system. Okay? In the fifth zone of the eye, you have the brain, the lung, the liver, the spleen, the kidneys, and the thyroid. In the sixth zone, you have the muscle, motor nerve, lymphatic system, and circulatory system in the sixth zone. And in the seventh zone, you have the skin and the sensory nerves. Okay? People don't realize that the skin is an organ. The largest organ on your body. And it's also the largest eliminatory organ. And you really need to sweat because you release a lot of toxins that way. If you're not a sweater, you better start becoming a sweater. That's one of the ways that you release toxins in the body. Because if you don't sweat, you put more strain on your other eliminatory channels. Okay? You have to sweat. That's why you have to exercise. Okay? Exercise every day. Exercise. Go to the next one. Now, what I was talking about with the autonomic nervous system, this is the autonomic nervous system. We call it the autonomic nerve region. And we use this as a marker to figure out imbalances in the body. Okay? This reef here, if it's pointing out, protruding out in a certain direction, it could be pointing to a particular challenge that's going on in the body. Or if it's pointing inward, it can be pointing to a particular challenge that's going on inside our body. Remember, this area is the stomach, and this area is the intestines. Okay? So, the autonomic nerve reef pointing to a particular challenge could also be telling you that this area is blocked or there's an issue. Go to the next slide. How do we measure how a person's body or organs are imbalanced in the eye? By the constitution in the eye. Now, constitution, your eye fibers look like a weed. And when you have good constitution, it's like a tight weed, okay? A real tight weed, as you see in the first example, okay? As the body starts to present weaknesses, the weaves start to loosen. Or the fibers in your eye start to loosen to show you that there's a challenge there, okay? So this is the beginning of some imbalance in the body. Here, in the third example, as you see, the fibers start to get even more loose. And they start creating what looks like crevices in the eye, or holes. We call them crypts and lacunas, okay? That's what we call them. This is telling us that there's challenges in a particular area. This is a state that is what we call an acute stage, or an inflammatory stage. This stage is more, well, this is more of a subacute stage, and this is more of an acute stage. So it's getting worse, all right? It's becoming a bigger problem, all right? As you see, the fibers are getting darker. So what's happening here is that the hole is getting bigger and bigger, and it's showing you that that particular organ or gland is really, really challenged that's in that region of the eye. And when you start reaching this stage here, stage 5, that's a real chronic condition. And as you see, it's really starting to get real black in that area. That's when a person is really, really challenged, or could be close to death. And you can really see that in the eye. Go to the next slide, please. This is our iridology chart. Alright? This is a chart that we use to help read the eye. You read the eye like a clock. Okay? Organs and glands appear in the body just like a clock, starting from 12 o'clock all the way around. Okay? And just like how the top of a clock is, the head is at 12 o'clock. That area of your eye is the area of your brain. Okay? As you go down to the 1 o'clock area, you start getting into the neck area. The 2 o'clock area, you start getting into the lungs. 3 o'clock area, into the thorax. And in the 4 o'clock area, get into the upper abdomen. And the 5 o'clock area, the lower abdomen. 6 o'clock area, you start dealing with like the legs and the kidney area in the 6 o'clock area, or the pelvic area. The 7 o'clock area, lower back. The 8 o'clock area is upper back. The 9 o'clock area is the throat. And the 10 o'clock area is the face. Okay? Now, in the right eye, what happens is they appear on the opposite side. Okay? They still go around in the clock, but they appear on the opposite side. Okay? This is the map that we use to help read what's going on in your eyes. Go to the next slide. Now, this eye I'm showing you here is an eye that they say quote unquote has good constitution. What good constitution means is that the eye is showing that the body has an ability to recover or bounce back. Okay? Doesn't mean it doesn't have any challenges, but it has the ability to bounce back. The person that, example, they're showing in this photo does have issues. When you see these little lines here, what they call radius solaris, or they like spoke wheels, these are areas of toxicity, okay? And they're going to certain areas of the body. So this person here, right, this toxicity that's coming from the digestive system is affecting the brain, okay? This area here, this area is affecting, this person I can tell you right now got issues with sinus, okay? Because this area right here is dealing with sinus issues, okay? So even though they got good constitution or ability to bounce back, they're not free of any imbalances in the body. Remember I told you we all got issues, okay? Go to the next slide. Alright. This is another eye that has supposedly what they call quote unquote good constitution because of the tight fibers. But as you see, there are imbalances and challenges going on here. This person here, I'll point to it with my hand. You can see right here, in this area here, this person has a challenge going on with the thyroid and also liver issues. Now, also, if you look here, all this whiteness you see, this person got a lot of inflammation. So they got a lot of aches going on. Go to the next slide. This is the eye with poor constitution. You see how loose the fibers are? Here's a lot of toxicity building up here in the intestinal area. So this person definitely needs to cleanse because they have a very, very toxic bowel. Very, very toxic bowel. You see these little beads of light that are going around the eye? They call that a lymphatic rosary. What that is that is telling me that there's a lot of lymphatic congestion going on. So I know that this person got issues with circulation. Okay? This area here is the area of the heart. So you see how brownish and how open the fibers are? This person got some issues going on. Some real serious issues. Let's go to next slide. Here we have another situation with a toxic bowel. Look how brown inside the autonomic nerve root that the bowel is. It's very, very toxic. Very toxic. This person definitely got some issues going on with their legs. You see this? Definitely got some issues going on with their legs. Absolutely. Some serious issues. They got blockages in here. And it's affecting the upper region. Because if you're not processing here and you constipated, it's going to affect how you think. You can't think if you're constipated. So this person has a very, very toxic bowel. Go to the next one. Okay. I'm going to show you in these upcoming slides here a colon that's normal, and then a colon when it's collapsed. And in this particular slide that I'm showing, it's dealing with a female. Okay? Now, this is a normal colon. Okay? This is your ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon. Okay? This is your stomach here. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to show you a collapsed colon. This person's colon, the transverse colon has collapsed. Okay? Now, when this person's colon collapsed, it caused their stomach to fissure. In other words, the stomach fell, so it is now in a fissure shape. So now the food isn't processing properly because the stomach acid is sitting right here. Okay? So this person is going to have digestive issues, but not only are they having digestive issues, they have a reproductive issue because this collapsed colon is sitting on the ovaries, it's sitting on the uterus, it's causing pain down there in the pelvic area. So a collapsed colon can cause a lot of damaging effect. But most doctors have to use x-rays to see this. Okay? Go to the next slide, please. So in this x-ray, this is the x-ray of the collapsed colon. Okay? I'm going to read it. In this x-ray, we have a good picture of a collapse. Many doctors miss this because they take x-rays of their patient's bowel in a lying down position. Most times you take an x-ray, you're lying on the table. If they would take an x-ray of the bowel with the patient standing, look at what they would see. So if a person has a problem with a collapsed colon and they're lying on their back, the doctor's not going to see it. If he takes an x-ray with you lying down. If you're standing, then he will be able to see it properly. Go to the next slide. Here's another picture of the collapsed colon. Okay? Now, here's an x-ray that shows extreme pressure where the colon is down in the lower part of the pelvis, causing pressure against the uterus, the ovary, the bladder, the rectum, and can produce stasis, obstructions, lack of blood supply to all these lower organs. This is what's happening here. Go to the next one. Once again, another picture. It's showing you what's happening is, look what it's starting to do to the spine. Because the body can't release the toxin, the spine is starting to bend. So you get what they call quote-unquote scoliosis, okay, because the food ain't moving nowhere, okay? It's not moving anywhere. And this person is starting to develop what they call diverticulitis, protruding from the colon area. I'm going to show you these same things that you see in this x-ray that you can see in your eye. Go to the next slide. Remember when I talked about the autonomic nerve reef? That it's a landing mark in the eye? Okay. Remember when I said this is the area of the stomach, right? And this is the area of the small and large intestine. Okay? So now, this area right here represents the transverse colon. Okay? This area right here. The autonomic nerve reef is pointing down in towards the stomach. So it's letting you know, this is God's way of letting you know, folks. It's letting you know that you got a collapsed transverse colon. Because it's showing you the autonomic nerve reef is falling towards the pupil. This is the landing mark that's letting you know that your transverse colon is collapsed. Okay? And as a result of it, it's causing toxicity. Okay? areas that the organs and glands govern are starting to become toxic as a result of this prolapsed colon. These little rings that you see here in the eye, what they call nerve rings, is letting you know that it's starting to affect the nervous system. Okay? This is a person that's very, very uptight. Very uptight person here. Okay? Because they're constipated and they can't go to the bathroom. Okay? Go to the next slide, please. Look at what's happening here. Because this colon is prolapsed, this is photo here is what we call a balloon bowel. You see how wide the fibers are getting? How dark and chronic the situation is getting? Look at this here. Look at this area. This person is having some serious challenges. Okay? Serious challenges with the kidneys, serious challenges with the liver, heart, all these challenges as a result of this prolapsed colon. And it's getting more and more and more chronic. This person is getting to the point where it's near death. Go to the next slide, please. Here, in this eye, you see the adrenal gland. Okay? This is adrenal gland deficiency here in this eye. You see how you're seeing things in the eye and that you didn't need an x-ray for? The eye is truly the window to the soul. It will show you what's going on if you just pay attention. Go to the next slide. This is a sclerology map. Okay? Remember I said that there's different eye sciences. This is the study of the whites of the eye. Okay? Read it the same way as you do the pupil, like a clock. Okay? But for some of us, like people of color who have dark eyes, sometimes it's kind of hard to see in the pupil. Okay, the guy didn't leave your name. You look at the whites of the eyes and see everything too. Okay? And so all your organs appear in the whites of the eyes as well. Okay? Go to the next slide. This is the right side of the eye. Go to the next one. And this is both the left and the right. Next one. Now physiognomy. That's the study of the face, the hands, okay, the feet. This is a different science in itself. But you can look at landmarks in the face and see challenges in the body. Click. How do we read the face? Discoloration in the face. This area right here is the area for the liver. Okay? This is the area for pancreas. Gallbladder. Kidney. Darkness under the eyes. Kidney issues. The cheekbone. Discoloration in your cheekbones, lung issues. Discoloration at the tip of the nose, the heart. Okay? Right also at the tip of the nose, near the pinch of the nose, hormones. Okay? Also right here, this area right here tells you a whole lot about people. There's a reproductive area, prostate, and uterus. Okay? Also, bladder issues. Right there, bottom of the chin. You can see so much when you know what you're looking at. You look at somebody really close, you can start to see challenges that's going on with them. Go to the next slide, please. The lips. Here, at the tip of the lip. Thyroid. See a little discoloration in the lip? Thyroid issues. Spleen. Liver. The left lung, the right lung. Right kidney. Left kidney. All from looking at the lips. Now, When women, a lot of times we wear lipstick, it kind of hides some things, but then again, you still can see some things. Because the lines in your mouth will also point to some things. So you got to pay attention. Go to the next one. On the hand, the pinky finger, small intestine in the heart. Your pinky finger, if it's aching, it's not just an ache. There's something going on with the small intestine of the heart. Triple warmer, which is also a region of the heart. The pericardium is also an area of the heart. Large intestine. The thumb is the lung. God gave you all the answers you need. You just got to know and understand the body. So when you have aches and pains in those areas, not just an ache and pain, something going on. Something needs to be worked on. The body's talking to you. It's trying to tell you what's going on. Go to the next slide, please. Your tongue. Take a look at your tongue. You stick your tongue out, you start seeing a little bit of whiteness in certain areas. Inflammation building up. Okay? You got the liver and gallbladder on both sides of your tongue. Your kidney in the back of your tongue. The stomach in the middle of your tongue. The heart at the tip of your tongue. Your lungs. All that information right there in your mouth. Just by going, ah. But most of the time when the doctor tells you to do that, he's not looking for that. He doesn't know what he's looking for. But this information is right there. These are your blueprints. They're all around you. Go to the next slide. The teeth. Next time you got a toothache, it's not just a toothache. It's some organ or gland that's out of balance. The stomach represents the front of your teeth. The heart is right next to it. The lung, the gallbladder, the stomach, the spleen, small intestine, and the spleen again in the very back, on the bottom, the very back teeth, the kidneys, small intestine, triple warmer, which is part of the heart, liver, large intestine, circulatory system. Large intestines again, and circulatory septum. Okay, that's dealing with, why certain things ain't working right, because poor circulation. That's area of that particular tooth. So every tooth in your mouth governs a system. Okay, so when that tooth is aching, it's just God's way of telling you that something else is out of balance. Okay, we concentrate on the tooth, but we don't think about what else is going on. I had a friend who had a toothache. He was on antibiotics. His dentist was constantly working on his tooth, but he still was in pain. I told him, I said, look, man, it's not just the tooth. You keep focusing on the tooth, you ain't going to resolve the issue. So I checked him out. In the process of checking him out, right, I picked up a gallbladder weakness. I asked him about what's going on. The emotional connection with the gallbladder is decision making. He was having problems making decisions because he was in a relationship that he didn't know whether he wanted to stay in or get out of. So he was really going through some things. He was going through some issues. So I told him, I said, listen, man, I said, you got to work on that because your gallbladder is affected by your decisions. And so when I checked his teeth, and he pointed to the one that was out of balance, that was the one that was giving him the problem that he was taking the antibiotics for, it was the gallbladder tooth. So I said, the reason why it ain't straight is because you got to fix this. And so when we straightened out the gallbladder, the tooth got better. Because you can't just focus on, it's a tooth ache. There's more to it than that. Go to the next one. Okay. This is the book, Dr. Wyatt's Body Blueprint. It was written by Dr. Wyatt. He brought it to us roughly about 5, 6 years it's been out now? About 5 years. And he wrote this book so that we can maintain life. It is a very informative book. All the information that I presented today is in that book, okay, and more stuff. But it's an awesome book to keep yourself well. It's a book that you want to carry with you and believe me. This is not one of those, I read it, I put it up. No. This is a book for life. This is a book that every time you got some challenges or some issues, you need to go to that book. Seriously, you need to go to that book. Because you will find out a whole lot of information using that book. I'm telling you, it's a fabulous book. I keep it with me all the time. I'm never without. It's awesome book. You know, it's fabulous for teaching you about yourself. You know, it's very, very, very good. Now, as we come to the end of this, I just want to say one thing. We got to be more proactive with our health. Okay? We got to start taking care of ourselves. We got to focus more on self-care than health-care. Because the healthcare system is failing us. We got to learn how to take care of ourselves. And understanding your blueprint will allow this. I can bring anybody up here right now, check you out and tell you what's going on with you. And I won't need any blood tests, I won't need any x-rays to do it. I guarantee you, I won't need it. Because I understand and know the blueprint. You have to learn this. It's essential. It's very essential. And when you understand this, it is so helpful for everything in life. Even when you go in the supermarket and check to see if food is good. It might look good, but is it really good? How do you know? Well, through kinesiology, you can do it. Okay? How you know what herbs work for you? There's several different herbs, as you've seen in this presentation, that work on several different challenges. But how do you know which one works for you? Well, through kinesiology, you can find out. When I check people for imbalances and I find out what's going on with their system, the herbs that I recommend the herbs that I know work for them because I test them to see if they work for them before that I just recommend them. So you can have a health food store and recommend herbs for a person who has a digestive issue, but every herb doesn't work for everybody. You got to know which ones work for you. So that's why you got several different herbs that work on the same thing. Because some work for you and some don't. Some work for other people. Okay? Because different herbs grow in different regions of the world. And so, therefore, that particular region, or people who come from that particular region. The same with us with our diet. We don't come from America. We're born in America, but our DNA is not from here. So therefore, there are certain foods that we need to be more inclined to eat. Okay? And herbs that we're more inclined to take because of where we come from. So we have to know these things. We got to know what we need. And the way that we know is through kinesiology, through iridology, through physiognomy, through these sciences. These sciences is what teaches you what works for you and what does not work for you. Okay? So, we at Dr. Wilde University Herbs is trying to bring you this message along with Black and Nobel. I thank these brothers for putting all this information out there. These brothers are great brothers for doing that so that we can get educated. This is an educational institution. Look at all the books in here. Look at all the stuff that you can learn. So, we got to be more proactive. We got to do things to better our health. We got to get in our right mind state. We have to take control. We've got to stop putting control of our health in someone else's hands. Okay? We have the ability to heal ourselves. Okay? God never left you hanging. He never did. So please, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Learn this information. We are relocating to 28 North 40th Street. We're currently at 42 South 40th Street. 32 32 South 40th Street. We're moving to 28 North 40th Street. So we're going to still be on the same block, but a little further up the street. But we are soon going to be giving classes. We're going to teach you. Come to the classes and learn. Learn how to do this so that you can help not only yourself, but your children and your family members. You want to save lives? This is where you start. Okay? By helping yourself. Work on yourself. And then you can go out there and help others. Okay? Remember I told you, when I first met Dr. Wyatt, I had a liver disease